What's going on, y'all? So I am not going to be on here long. This is Sean with my Transform Your Physical Health live stream where I answer your health and fitness questions and I talk about health and fitness in the news. And so usually I go on at 10, but I was out running errands. It's Christmas Eve, so I was running related errands, and but I did want to get on here before the day is out. So here I am. Anyhow, so I came across this article yesterday, sometime after I did yesterday's live. Article um, title is "Scientists Warn of Food That May Be Particularly Harmful for People with Diabetes." So I was like, okay, interesting. Let me read this and see what it's about. And I scrolled down, and it said the frequent consumption of ultra processed food may cause additional harm to people with type 2 diabetes, scientists warn in a new study. Now, when I read that, it was like, wah, 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 because that to me is like one of the most obvious things that anyone could ever point out. Necessary to say, but this is not new news at all that ultra processed food is particularly harmful to people with type 2 diabetes. Now, we know that ultra processed food, which is basically almost anything in a package, or like canned drinks, or just drinks in general, like sodas and punches and energy drinks and teas and this and that and whatever, and candy bars and crackers and packaged pastries and um, breads and so on and so forth. All of these they're known to be particularly bad because of the additives, because of the sugar content, because of the ultra refined flour that basically in and of itself is almost just like sugar when it enters your body, because of artificial sweeteners, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. So we've already known this. I'm going to link to this article just so you can read it because maybe it'll be more of a reminder, but this is not new news, y'all. It's not new news. Okay. So let me just kind of point out a couple things that this article says. It says researchers from the University of Texas at Austin say eating highly processed packaged food like diet sodas, cookies, and cereals is strongly linked to higher blood sugar levels in people with type 2 diabetes. Of course. Of course it is. Of course we know this. We've been on this. Taking food laden with additives can lead to a higher average blood glucose level over months, causing a spike in a measure called HbA1c. Yes. Yes. So, people who consumed more whole foods or foods and drinks with minimal processing had better glucose control. So anyhow, I'm not gonna really gonna read any more of this, because sometimes just being honest, it's just me. So I'm not a scientist. I do have an engineering background, but I'm not like a scientist who does research on stuff like this. But I honestly wonder sometimes, like, how these kind of studies are funded because they seem very redundant. They seem to not really be telling anything new. But again, I know I'm not the one who does these studies. Regardless of how redundant this study is, it is still cool to kind of like just remind us that ultra processed foods are very harmful, not just to people with type 2 diabetes, but also to just the average human being. Because a lot of times what they end up doing is like with the refined flours, a lot of what is normally inside of a food is stripped away. And when it enters into your body, like I say, refined flour is just like sugar, and a lot of the nutrients that are usually in flour are no longer in there, because they've been stripped out with like when the bran is taken out and all the oil and stuff is taken out, of the wheat seed. Then a lot of the healthy part is gone. And then you have all the various other chemicals, things that for all intents and purposes are kind of like coming from chemistry labs, and they enter into your body and they do stuff. They are bioactive, which means that they do stuff. They have an effect on what how your body operates. But a lot of times your body doesn't know what to do with them. So it causes these different kind of things that can lead to health issues later on. Eat whole foods. I'm not saying now it's the day before Christmas. We're gonna my family now, we're gonna enjoy some things. We'll probably have some macaroni and cheese, probably have some maybe cake here and there. But the point is, when we do like we do here in America, where our diets are almost totally ultra processed, I mean, this really is unprecedented. When I was a kid, I mean, we ate a decent amount of processed food. Um, but where we are now, like the fact that we have to say eat to live and don't live to eat, like that's what everybody used to do automatically, if you really think about it, because none of this junk existed. But now we just eat. When it's time to eat, hey, get something on your stomach. That if you just step back and just really think about that, what is the purpose of eating? The purpose of eating more than anything is to help this body keep on going. But we just eat for the sake of taste and just to kind of get the hunger signal to turn off. That obviously is going to cause a lot of problems. The really sad thing about it to me is that we're so used to eating ultra processed food and whatnot, um, that we disassociate it with health. We totally disassociate it with our health, and we think that a lot of health problems that we have in today's world are just a matter of chance, and they're not. They're not just a matter of chance. I mean, I'm talking about even stuff that of course, we know high blood pressure, gout, heart disease, type 2 diabetes. We know a lot of these things are caused by, among other things, the way that we eat and our lack of movement. But then it's other things. Our hormones get messed up. So like things that we might associate in particular with male health, female health, those are very much contributed to by how we eat. Autoimmune diseases where there's a lot of inflammation, those are very much contributed to by the way we eat and our lack of movement, a lack of sleep and stuff like that. Things that we're not used to thinking about. But we're so used to abusing our bodies and not really putting our health as the primary thing, the paramount thing, and we don't associate the two. We don't associate the two, and we just think something just happened. So more than anything, that's one of those kind of like myths that I hope to dispel as I continue to produce content, about health and fitness on this channel. That's all I got, y'all. Thank y'all for those of you who tuned in. Remember, I'm usually here at 10 in the morning to answer your health and fitness questions. If you put it in the chat, I'll do my best to answer it. Now, I won't be on tomorrow. I don't plan on being on tomorrow, Christmas. Of course, I'm going to be with my family. But I'm pretty sure I'll pick up on Thursday and answer your health and fitness questions. Even if after the live you have some questions or some thoughts before, after this has already happened, put them in the comments. I want to hear what y'all have to say. Surely, like, especially if you're on here, you stuck around for a bit, you might have some sort of thought about this, something that caused you to stick around. I want to know what you're thinking. I want to know what you're thinking because this is how we kind of start to change the narrative where we don't become a statistic um, as a part of the society that is, really kind of leading us toward like really poor health. So anyhow, I'm gonna let y'all go so I can finish eating my oatmeal right here. This is, by the way, this is like the oatmeal you got to cook. It's not a packet. Um, the oatmeal that take a while to cook. So I just want to put it out there. But anyway, y'all take care. Have a great day. Let me know what you think in the comments. Okay. All right. Have a good one.